Welcome back to PinTech. I just finished restoring this Nishijin Pachinko machine, and this video is for the client to show them that the machine is functioning 100% after the work that was done. The theme in this Pachinko is Olympics, and there are athletes on the playfield, but in the top left window, the low hopper light area, it says Jtop, so I call the machine Jtop. Anyway, the idea of Pachinko is you want to shoot balls into the playfield and have them land in pockets. Every time you do so, that's a jackpot and you get paid out in more balls. And that's the simple idea behind Pachinko. It is a gambling machine in Japan, so it has different meanings over in Japan. Obviously here it's just for amusement. The way you shoot balls into the playfield is you use this lever here to launch balls up into the top of the playfield, and the balls, through gravity alone, bouncing off the pins, land randomly into the pockets. On this particular machine, there are two different types of pockets. There's mechanical pockets and stationary pockets. The stationary pockets are these yellow ones, and why they're called stationary, or I call them stationary, is because they don't change the state that they're in. They remain the same size whether a ball enters them or not. You also have four mechanical pockets. That's these orange ones here, and they're called tulips. And on the tulips you have these wings, these orange wings, and you can see in this state right now that the wings are very, very far apart. So it's a much larger pocket than the stationary pocket. So it's easier for a ball to enter this pocket, a tulip. So once the ball enters a tulip, then the wings close. They get much smaller. They become the size of a stationary pocket, and it's much harder for the following ball to enter the tulip. But once a following ball does enter the tulip, then the wings open back again to make it a much easier pocket to get a jackpot. So these are mechanical pockets, and they change their state from wide to small, or large to small, alternately with each ball that enters them. In the center of the machine you have your attract feature, which once you enter with a ball, you get paid out in balls. You get a jackpot for entering the center attraction. Plus it has a special feature. If you get dead center in the center attraction, then I believe it opens all four wings of the tulips, which is a great idea because then your next balls have a much easier chance of paying out jackpots. So that's what the ideal situation is, to get a center attraction jackpot that opens all four tulips. If you get a ball on the right side or the left side of the center attraction, the side the ball enters opens up the tulip on that side. For instance, if you get a ball on the right side of the center attraction, you get paid out for doing so, plus you open up the right side tulip wings. On the left side, same thing for the left side tulip. So that's basically the basics of the game. This is your ball feeder tray. You put your balls in here that you want to launch into the playfield, and this feeder tray also feeds the loading chamber for the firing mechanism or the launch mechanism of the balls. And what's important about this feature is when your hopper goes low and the light comes on, there'll be a flag that comes into this window and tells you to wait, which means stop playing. Because when that light comes on, the flag comes down, there's a gate that's in this area right here that locks up and keeps the ball feeder tray from feeding balls into the loading shooter chamber. So that flag tells you to wait, stop playing, so that the attendant can fill the hopper back up with balls. Once he does so, or she does so, the flag raises up, the light goes out, and then the ball feeder tray will feed balls into the loading chamber again, and then you can fire balls. So what I've done is I've put enough balls in the hopper where the game can play, and hopefully it'll run very low and run out of balls if we get enough jackpots so you can see the features working. Another thing you want to know about is if you start getting a lot of jackpots, you get lucky, that the balls start piling up here so much that they start backing into the machine because you've won so many. What you want to do is send the balls from the feeder tray into the overflow tray down here, and you do so by sliding this lever to the left. And you lower the amount of balls that are in your ball feeder play tray down into the overflow tray. So that's what this lever is for, and that's what this tray is for. You don't want your balls, your winning balls, to start backing up into the machine. So let me fire some balls into the play field. Hopefully we'll get the tulips and some other pockets, get some payouts, and lower the hopper and show you all the features working. In order to shoot the balls, you put your finger on the finger rest here, your fingers on the finger rest. Using your thumb, you pull back on the lever, and however far back you pull before you release is how hard the balls will fire into the playfield. So if you pull it all the way down to the finger rest and then release, it should shoot very hard and the ball should wind up toward the right side of the playfield. Like that. And what we want to try to do is get a tulip because that's the easiest target to get. There, we just got one in, and we got two. So we got two payouts. The tulips closed, like I mentioned, and see they're a much smaller pocket now than even the stationary pockets. And the next time balls enter the tulips, they'll open the wings back up to this size. The light came on for the low hopper, so the balls are out of the hopper now. The flag is in the window, and right now, whatever balls were remaining in the shooter chamber can still be fired. So we could fire out what was remaining in the chamber before the light came on and the flag went into the window to say wait. So there's a few in there. Alright, so now you see nothing's happening, yet the ball feeder tray has balls in it, but nothing's happening. That's because there's a gate here locking out the ball feeder play tray into the launch area. In order to correct this situation now, we have to fill up the hopper in the back, and I'll show you how we do that. And the light should go out, and the flag will raise up. Once the flag raises up, the gate opens up, and the balls will go into the launch area again. We'll feed into the launch area. So at the back of the machine, here's your hopper. You want to fill it up with balls. You notice the light went out. The flag went up, and now balls have entered the loading chamber. But now, the first time you pull back on the lever and launch it, nothing's going to happen because there were no balls in the chamber. You have to load up the launch mechanism first. So right now, if I flip, nothing should happen. See, nothing happens. But once we pulled it down, then we loaded a ball, so on the second time you launch a ball, after the hopper goes low and you refill it, it should fire. See, now we're firing, we're back in gameplay. Now, we want to try for the left side, because our left tulip is open, and that's an easier target to get. There, we just got it. And we got the payout, and the lights came on. So that's basically all the functions are working. And let me show you the back. This is what you need to know before you start a game in the first place. Something important to know, that's this lever right here. This is the ball drain lever for the machine, and it's only used in the pachinko parlors. You're not really supposed to use it. The idea is to drain the balls out of the hopper and all the channels up here in order for them to work on the machine. But in traveling with the machine, when you get it home, this might trip and open up. And if it does, this is what happens when it is opened. Makes a loud noise, and all the balls are dumped out of the machine. So when you get home, the first thing you want to do, the very first thing you do on the back of the machine is check that this is in the proper orientation. And what that is being locked. And you make sure it's locked by sliding this lever to the right, and this horizontal bar will go down on the left side and lock in this position. Once that does, it closes off the machine. But let me show you what happens when you get home. In case this is in the wrong position, you want to test first. So all you need to do is literally put one or two balls in the hopper. And if they drop out of the bottom of the machine, you know it's in the wrong orientation. You only need one or two. You don't want to put 5 or 6. You don't need to do that. Just one or two is enough to show if it's going through the machine or not. If it is, then this lever is in the wrong position. So now what you want to do is lock it out. And now that's locked. You throw one or two balls in again. And they're staying in the machine right here going through the chute which feeds the jackpot mechanism. So that's how you want to make sure it's in this locked position before you do anything with the machine. Once it's in the locked position and you tested it out that the balls are staying in the machine, then you can fill up the hopper with balls. So that's the first thing you want to do, is make sure that's in the proper orientation when you get home. The second thing is, here's your power, the battery for your lights. All this 9-volt battery does is power up your low hopper light and your jackpot light. I don't use a switch. There's no need for a switch. You just take the connector and slide it right and left onto the terminal. That's all you need to do, is swing it over to the terminal, and that becomes a switch. If you have balls in the hopper and there's no jackpots constantly going and the lights are out, then you're not draining anything from the battery, so you never really have to disconnect the battery at all. It only would have to be disconnected if you leave the hopper empty, which keeps the light on, which would drain the battery. So basically, you never even have to use a switch or anything. You don't even have to disconnect the battery as long as the hopper is full. Last thing you want to check before you play a game or get the machine home is in the lower left window here. You see a white horizontal piece of plastic. That's called the seesaw, and it needs to be up on the right side. You could look at it through the window when you get home. This is a clear window. As long as it's up on the right side, it's in the proper orientation. If it's down on the right side, there's a pin underneath down here around this window, and all you have to do is push up on it, and that'll push the seesaw up on the right side. So that's what you have to do in order to get the machine to be set up in order to play your first game. So it's the 3 steps. 1, you want to make sure the balls are locked into the machine with this lever here being latched. 2, you want to make sure your power is going to the lights. And 3, you want to make sure your seesaw is up on the right side. Once those 3 are accomplished and then you filled up the hopper, the machine should be good to go to play. You should have no issues whatsoever. Now see, the hopper is low from the jackpots we had, so again the light came on, the flag dropped down. It went low because we dumped all the balls out before, so now let's fill it back up. The light went out, the flag went up, balls are fed into the tray, and we're ready to play again. So that's basically it. If you have a pachinko or pinball machine and you need restoration and repairs, contact me at Pintech on Facebook. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and or subscribe. So that's it from Pintech. New